seconds.
And now, introducing Casey Carter.
I got what you need, I got what you want, I got what you need, tell them giddy up. I got horses in the back, trunk in the front, exterior red and that inside buttercup. I got what you need, I got what you want, I got what you need, tell them giddy up.
Erotic boudoir. Adult, intimate, sexy, sensual. Allow AJ and Nick, the dynamic mother-daughter team, to assist you in customizing a personal pleasure package tailored to your intimate needs. They are highly knowledgeable and offer a professional touch. You can visit their store located at 2635 West Girard Avenue in Philadelphia, or browse more discreetly on their website at erotic-boudoir.com. And please be assured that both AJ and Nick are available to answer any questions you may have. Erotic Boudoir, helping you prioritize your pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Casey Carter.
Lord, hold on here. Can y'all hear me okay? There we go. Woo! Lord. It was a mess going on I had back feedback on one of my devices. Took me a minute to figure it out. But we're here. It's Wednesday. It's 7 o'clock. It is time for Casey at Night. I am so super excited. I have got a amazing guest on tonight. Hey, Miss Toxic Goddess. I see you on your way to Florida. Big plans, big plans. Night. Okay, we're busy. Lorenzo and Toxic are busy having conversation. I've got to stop looking at the conversation. Totally distracting. Anyway, so tonight's guest, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than Taylor Sparks, owner of Organic Lovin'. Let me tell you, just gaze upon this photo. Just gaze, right? Because I like to tell y'all how old I am. I'm 53, or depending upon how you see it on the screen, 53. She's older than me. Fucking fabulous, people. Just, you know how they tell you, black don't crack and all of that? Yeah, wait till you see her and you'll be like, oh yeah, I got it. I get it. I get it. But Taylor Sparks, she's got like this whole long bio, and I'm probably sure that's the short version of her bio. But she and I met some years ago, and it was weird because we met and very politely, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? And then went our separate ways. Lo and behold, I'm down here in Atlanta. She and I met at Sex Expo in Brooklyn in 2018. I'm down in Atlanta a couple of months later, and I meet this other amazing woman who also teaches and educates and workshops, seminars, all of that. And she and I meet, and we meet not under those circumstances, but under a completely different circumstance. And long story short, the two of them know each other. By the time I find out Taylor knows these other people, like I've met a whole bunch of other people that were connected to her. So of course I had to eventually circle back and reacquaint myself, because I'm like, it is obvious we were destined to meet one another. because I met all her other friends. So very, very excited to introduce you to the amazing Taylor Sparks. But it is now time for what, Lorenzo?
Time for cleavage cam. I skipped to that one, of course.
You skipped you skipped straight to Keevish
that,
Cam.
that was important. But the 5 reasons to watch Casey.
Ah, all right. So you all know I often just jump right into the screen, and there's all of the reasons right there on the screen. So I had to make sure to get it right so that Lorenzo did not fuss at me.
Yeah.
For- see, see. Anyway, let me get myself ready here with these 5 reasons. Whenever you're ready, sir, I'm ready.
You good? All right. So 5 reasons to watch Casey. Number 5. To learn about Taylor Sparks, sex goddess pact. As she says, you can come in, but you'll have to shoot them.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that. And I misspelled here. Hold on. I can't. I need for Miss Sparks here to know I can know how to spell her name. So just let me fix that. Whoop, there we go. All right, I'm ready.
Number 4. To learn why everyone always asks Taylor, what is the best lube?
We gonna ask too, cause I got a drawer full of everything. So we gonna find out what Ms. Taylor thinks. Okay, next.
Number 3. To learn about Taylor's infamous catwalks.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All of that chocolate. Ugh. All right. I'm ready.
Number 2. To find out what Casey has planned for Exotica, New Jersey.
And
And number 1, of course, the cleavage cam.
where's my applause? Oh, that's the wrong camera. Hold on. I apologize. You know, I can never figure out my left from my right on the camera. Okay, here it is.
You got him.
Okay, all right. Lord. I had this crazy idea to do this cleavage cam and this countdown, and I've moved from one location to another, and I'm still figuring out all my angles. You never think that the left side makes that big a difference than the right side, but in my other location, I was on the other wall. So everything was turned the other way, and now I'm I'm off. I don't know where nothing is. So just bear with me. Okay, so one of the top 5 reasons to watch Casey was about what am I planning for Exotica? As you know, this is my first time in my own booth, and yes, I'm hoping you walk away from the booth going, she did too much. She did way too much. And so I'm excited, excited. Last week, I told you I was presenting some of the blinged out glasses that I wear. And I started off by showing you some of the ones that were done, partially done, all the way done, whatever the case was. And I have this box that I'll be transporting them in, and I'm gonna make you wait. I'm not gonna show you the whole box yet. Let me run through this thing here. So Lorenzo and I were talking the other day, and he made this kind of an offhand comment, just kind of threw it out there, you know, something about what if they, had names, or you called it this, you called it that. And I was like, huh, something about that I'm kind of digging on. Like immediately, I was like, oh my God, I could tell stories about the various glasses. So I immediately started naming glasses. I'm going to show you who we got so far. Okay. So this is the pair that I always wear. So little cat eye shape, my favorites. But we have for the Exotica New Jersey 2022 edition, we have Casey in sort of what I like to call the Clark Kent shaped glasses. If you saw them before all the crystals, you'd see that they were kind of, it would remind you of Clark Kent. So these are the Casey, okay? And I have another Casey, mainly because I love the red. So this is the Casey red. You know how, like, when you buy Apple products and there's always a red version, which is the based on the charity. What's it? I want to say it might be an AIDS awareness charity or what have you. So those are the Casey red. Then I had another pair that I am calling Ella. These are the Ella. It's that Clark Kent shape again, but let me show you when Ella wears them, and they're not. These are straight up clear glasses, so I can't see. When Ella wears them, they look like this. That's me and Ella. See? These are Ella's glasses with a little bit of pop. And then I wanted to give Ella more pop. So we've got these. Just a little bit more plow. So I had this other pair, and again, I showed you these last week, but these are what I call the Taylor little rose gold in your life. And it's actually kind of contrasting rose gold. The bigger ones are a little brighter. The ones on the bottom are a little duller. So it gives it a little bit more dimension. But I call these the Taylor because they remind me of my daughter. She is obsessed with rose gold. And all her sunglasses are shaped like this. So these are the Taylor. And I've got, let's see, which way do I want to do this? I've got an obsession with this absolutely gorgeous, 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 gorgeous woman. These that I'm about to put on now are named after her. And these, wait, I did just say I can't see without, like, these are, these are the Hollies. This photo is from Swordfish, and these glasses are kind of a throw to her. They're not exactly shaped like them, but when I made these, I immediately thought Halle Berry. And yeah, I love me some Halle Berry. And that's that. And then I've got this pair named after another person who I think is absolutely fabulous. So Ms. Rita Daniels showed up on social in these black and white checkerboard glasses. These are the Rita.
Ooh.
That's Taylor. So these are, of the collection I'm bringing to Exotica, these have the most crystals. They are completely blinged out all the way around.
Those may not make it to Exotica. I think Taylor's gonna get those.
Yeah, these are the Ritas. So you can imagine it took me a minute to get them to this level of sparkle. But like I said, you see Rita's wearing these black and white glasses, and these are the same glasses in black and sparkly crystals. Then I had this other pair of sunglasses that when I pulled them out, I thought, oh my God, Jackie O. Jackie O for days and days and days. And then I said, no, I'm not calling them Jackie. I'm calling them Michelle. Real simple, but this is Michelle. Uh-huh. And they're pretty dark, so they're not overly dark, but they're dark enough that folks can't see you. And then I have a couple that have no name, but I wanted to make sure you saw them. So here's your typical sport goggle with just a little bling, just a little bit on the sides there, just so that, they pop a little bit, but not too much. They're not too distracting. And then I have another that's my rainbow. Oh, I take it back. I remember this one. This one does have a name. This is called Bannon. And these are a rainbow sport goggle. You'll notice, I can't tell if you can see that well in the screen, but the lens itself is also rainbow colored. So these are called Bannon. And I named these after a gentleman that I met several years ago by the name of Race Bannon. So these are the Bannon. And that's what I've got so far. I've got another, what did I say, Lorenzo? Like 5 pair?
Yeah, about 5 more to do.
Yeah. So, and one of those is very specifically in Exotica colors, and it's going to be one of one. There will be no other Exotica color, Exotica glasses. I was going to do 2. The brain didn't go. So one, absolutely just one Exotica, New Jersey, 2022. And you'll have to wait and see so you can see it. But in the meantime, I'm going to be right back with my special guest, Ms. Taylor. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. That was not what I was trying to do. My bad. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break and we will be back with Ms. Taylor Sparks.
It's Exotica season. Come meet Casey at one or all 4 Exotica locations. Chicago, April 29th through May 1st. Miami, July 15th through July 17th. Edison, New Jersey, October 21st through October 23rd. Washington, D.C., December 2nd through December 4th. Say hi to Casey. Take a selfie with her, maybe an interview, or give her one reason to watch Casey. You might get featured on Cleavage Cam. For more information, visit Exotica at bit.ly/Casey at 3x and follow Casey at CaseyAtNight on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
And I'm back. Okay, I'm not even going to drag this out. My next guest, amongst many things, Taylor, aka Mariposa or Mariposa, is a passionate erotic educator and sex goddess. And that is important. The word goddess, that's really, we're going to dig into that. Certified in both holistic aromatherapy and human behavior. With over 20 years of experience in the natural skincare / cosmetics industry, Ms. Sparks launched Organic Lovin', one of the biggest BIPOC-owned online intimacy shops. Organic Lovin' specializes in improving adults' sexual health, wellness, and enhancing their sex lives via their organic, intimate body products, body-safe sex toy materials, sex positive books. And when she and I chatted about this a few weeks back, she had like a bajillion books. Maybe like half a bajillion books, maybe not a whole bajillion, maybe like more like half bajillion. But I was like, damn, there's a lot of books available. Um, Sex positive books, erotic educational seminars, and adults only luxury vacations. That part right there, adults only luxury vacations. Ooh, she does a lot of that. Did a lot of that, does a lot of that. And I always want to know how they let that black girl go do all that stuff. Yeah. You don't want me to go down that road. But Ms. Sparks' sexual wellness and relationship expertise has contributed to articles in Bustle, BuzzFeed, Cosmo, Forbes, Glamour, Men's Health, Oprah Shape, Women's Health magazines, and more. Prior to launching Organic Lovin', she developed a line of 16 head-to-toe organic body care products for elite endurance athletes called Skincare for Athletes, Tri Body Products. These products were featured in Muscle and Fitness Hers and the ESPN magazines, sponsored numerous triathlons, 5Ks, and marathons, as well as 5 Olympian athletes in both the Summer and Winter Olympics. Taylor currently hosts the podcast Sisters of Sexuality, 5 Shades of Play, that she co-founded with her fellow sex goddesses and is entering its 4th season with more than 100 episodes. Taylor is socially and environmentally conscious and a strong supporter of all things organic, natural, and eco-friendly, including love. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to my friend, Taylor Sparks.
Hey,
Girl,
I thought I sent you the short version.
oh, this ain't the short version? Okay. Well, it don't matter. It's my show. I'm on for as long as I want to. So. Oh, did I just lose your audio? That's okay. We good. There you go.
I'm back.
You're back.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's
No,
okay.
the dog out of the blue decided to run across the court and get her leg caught, and I grabbed my laptop. I'm like, really? Can't you go the other direction to the window?
No.
Good gracious. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Listen, I'm excited to have you. Like I said, you and I sort of met on the fly in 2018 at Sex Expo. You were there presenting. You had a booth, if I recall correctly.
I did.
And we weren't too far from each other. So I was seeing you the whole weekend and we kept smiling at each other and yeah. And so it was, I'm like, oh, okay, who's she? And what's she doing? And then I go back home to Atlanta. You go back home. I'm not even sure where you were living in 2018.
I was in North Carolina still.
Okay, so we all go back to our respective locations, and then I meet Marla Stewart. And Marla and I weren't even in, say, sex educator mode. We were in total social mode. So I meet her and, enjoy her company and all of those things. Didn't know she knew you. Then,
one of the sex goddesses. Yeah, Sisters of Sexuality. Yeah.
So then Then I met Jet Setting Jasmine and King Noir.
Yeah.
And I still didn't know everybody, as in Jet Setting Jasmine, you and Marla, didn't know you all knew each other.
Right.
And then I met Parrish. And like,
you met the whole crew.
You know what I'm saying? And
that's kind of how I met them, one at a time.
And so it was crazy because by the time I got to Parrish, I was like, okay, I gotta circle back around. I think it was either Parrish or Jasmine. I'm like, I gotta circle this back around because there's no way I meet her on the fly and then meet all these people that she's like intimately connected to. And so I'm about to go out of my order because I initially was going to talk about Organic Lovin', but when I think that story through, I'm like, it is so destined for us to be connected.
It's kismet.
them damn sisters of sexuality. Okay.
It's kismet.
Talk to me a little bit about the sisters of sexuality. Who are they? What do they do? What do they represent?
Well, all of the sisters, when I met each one of them, kind of that way, kind of individually, I realized that here are all these women, all standing in their own truth, all with their own channel, if you will, based on sex and sexuality. You know, Jasmine not only being a licensed therapist, but also adult entertainer, a sex educator, a fetish master or a master fetish trainer. Mahler, of course, LBGTQ, being queer and African American. And she also, her and her partner, her business partner, developed Sex Down South. And then Parrish also being a sex goddess and master manifester, talking about masturbation. And so we all kind of came together initially to kind of say, how can we all work together, do it, with all of our different talents and put this out to the world. And so we started Sisters. I started Sisters of Sexuality. I asked them to come on board with me. And then we got.
Girl.
Yes. What?
Listen.
What?
Listen. I don't know where we went, but we went somewhere and then they wouldn't let us back in. We're back now. So,
Yay.
so you were explaining, you got to the point where you realized you all wanted to join forces and take over the world.
Well, yeah, so to speak. It was just, I kind of felt the same way you did. It was just kind of kismet that I would meet all these women that all had a basis in sex and sexuality, but all kind of in different channels. And so we kind of talked about the platform, and then we ended up starting a radio show on, I think, I forgot the name of the platform. And then we rolled over to doing the podcast, and then everybody got busy with their lives.
Yeah,
and everybody kind of went their own way, so to speak. But still, always sisters in sex, and yeah, I'm still in touch with everybody. I talk to Parrish more regularly than most of the other girls, but Marla and I are both in the. Are you familiar with the Hello Seven Club? Hello Seven, the club.
No.
Rachel Rogers, who wrote the book "We Should All Be Millionaires." I could have sworn I told you about that book when we were together. I'm not sure, but like Marla and I are in the club, and Parrish and I are still chatting, and then I still reach out to Jasmine. So, but everyone's got their lives and busy, but always still, if I need them or they need me or we can help each other in any kind of way, we do. So it's good.
I think the fact that you were all busy says a lot about what pooling that energy together did.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
even if you all weren't working on the exact same thing all at the same time, there was that collective energy that was always kind of there cheering the other one on.
It's good, and everybody has. I was because Marla and I in the Hello Seven group, there's like you get little pockets of people, and her and I are with some of the other what they call schmillies because we're making our money, and those of us who are in the sex education field, we meet like once a month online on Facebook or on Zoom rather, and she just had finished Sex Down South. And she was like, you realize that the year I presented there was the very first year they had it, which I didn't know that was the very first year that they had it. So I'm like, oh my God, that was, and I haven't been back because each year they've had it subsequently, I've been out of the country, so I haven't even been able to go back. So, but one day I hope to go back, and because I've been traveling with LLV, and that's one of their cruise times. So
okay.
I gotta go.
Okay. Well, so speaking of cruises, and I'm gonna just tell you right now, I actually make note cards. I'm so not following the order. But one of the things that I learned about what you did was the cruises, the resorts. And
Yes.
I'll be honest as to why I was so fascinated, because with all of your travels, there isn't always as many brown people.
Mm-mm.
And
Nope.
that seems to remain relatively consistent. So I was
Mhm.
fascinated to meet someone who really was just like was a part of the circuit. Like it wasn't you lucked up and you are in this one. You literally were kind of doing a circuit of them.
Yeah, I think I've been on. If I if I include the cruise I just got back from, which is out of Venice, Italy, I think that was my 19th cruise in the last 8 years.
Wow.
So, and there's some I still haven't even gotten on, but I'm trying to get on. But
Well, I mean,
there's
explain to the audience what that's like. What is that?
so um, I'm a vendor. Well, I'm there as an educator who vends. So because I own Organic Lovin', specializing in all of our holistic intimate body products, organic body products, our body safe sex stories, and books. Um, and also as an educator, I reached out to the producers of these cruises and such and said, hey, I'd like to be an added value to your cruise. I'd like to come and present my seminars. And I would like to be able, of course, to set up my table and sell my products. So I started with LLV, Luxury Lifestyle Vacations Club, as part of their team, and then an educator, and then started with the toys. And then I eventually started on couples cruise, and I had literally like not even a 6 foot table. I had so few things, and I had them kind of. I didn't even set up poolside. I had them in the retail store because it's a full ship takeover, swinger cruise, lifestyle cruise. So you get space in the retail store, and I had like three little shelves with a few lubes on them when I first started, to eventually becoming the second largest vendor on the ship, one of the main educators, and bringing other educators with me who were brown,
Mm.
because there, like you said, there were not enough of us and we need to represent. So I think the most I ever had was six of us, including myself, and I think my husband at the time had come to work, not as a presenter, but had come to work on the set. So I had 4 6 foot tables poolside. I had retail space in the boutique. And I was the second largest vendor, and I was right behind Fair Villa, which is a multi-million
Wow.
dollar
Yeah.
store. And they're huge, but I was like, I need my 4 tables. So they would have like 3 quarters of the store, and I would have like a quarter of the store, but it was still,
A lot of
it
space.
was still
Yeah.
still a lot of stuff from where I started with, like three little
Yeah.
shelves, to be able to take up a whole quarter of a retail boutique. And so I would do like up to 4 seminars during the week. King and Jazz came with me. Jazz came with me without King a couple of times, and then King and Jazz came together. They did seminars. I think they did 3 or 4 seminars. Paris also 3 or 4 seminars. Marla came at one point. I think she did a couple of seminars, and then somebody else came. Shoot, oh Lord, she filled in for Jazz one year because she works with Jazz. I can't think of her name right now. Oh, that's escaped me. I'm so sorry. And she came with me one year. So, the couples of Bliss cruises are large,
Mhm.
2,500 to almost 5,000 people on the
Nice.
ship. It's a full ship takeover, and it's a lot of work. It's hard. I call them workations.
Yeah. if
But
that's such a thing.
yeah, it's a lot of work, but I love it. And I've been able to travel all over the world, and I'm at 30 countries and counting,
Wow.
and make money and talk about, can I say pussy?
Yeah,
Can I
you
say
just did.
pussy?
You just did.
Yeah. And talk about pussy. And how to
Listen,
keep the pussy safe and wet. That's my mission in life.
YouTube has already said I was an adult program, so you
Okay,
say
okay,
whatever
okay.
you need to say at that point.
Okay. Yeah.
And okay, so when you said pussy, it made me think of two things. The first thing was the mac and cheese.
Wop, wop, wop.
Yeah.
You know why they call it mac and,
Uh,
why? Because it sounds like
Sound
mac
like
and
mac and
cheese.
cheese.
If you've ever made, only for the people who ever made mac and cheese from scratch.
Okay,
you have to. It
yes.
don't happen if you got that powder shit.
No,
You
you
need
don't
to be
get the
putting the
sound.
cheese. You need to grate the cheese,
Mm-hmm.
put the milk in,
Mm-hmm.
and then stir it up, and you get that.
And if you do what you do just right, you've probably
Mm.
heard that sound outside the kitchen.
You should.
Yeah, I mean, because that sound is sometimes associated with a wet ass pussy. Okay,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
yeah. And then the other thing that I wanted to bring out, and you and I have talked about this, I stand in awe of it, but I tell people my age. I'm 53. I absolutely
Yeah.
fucking love it. I looked at a picture of
Yes.
myself from 2012 and was like, oh no, this one right here. This one right
Yes.
here.
And you look amazing.
Yeah, well, no, tell them how old you are.
62.
Liar.
I am 62.
See what I'm saying? This
I'm
is,
62.
this
I've
is,
been blessed with good stock though.
yeah, look, okay. I'm
And
just,
not drinking a lot, not a lot of drugs, not a lot of drinking. And so I don't fuck up the goods. We say black don't crack, but it will crease if you
the,
fuck it up. The
yes,
shit will crease.
it will deeply, deeply. Look, I know this is like gonna be just off, but when I was young, I very consciously would not raise my eyebrows up a lot.
Me too. Me too. And like I'm like shit. I better raise them.
Right?
Like there's a second delay here between what I'm doing and what's happening on the screen. So now I'm like, oh
Mm.
shit, I got like 3, 4. I did the same thing because that and this.
Right. Which is why I always very consciously smile. Because I'm like, if I'm gonna get lines, I'm gonna get it
They're
from
gonna be
this.
smile lines. Girl, I thought I was the only one that did that
Uh-uh.
from a young age because I saw women who just, and I grew up in Boston.
Nope. Girl, I
So
know
I
boss.
rode the train.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, riding the train and just seeing people just,
Miserable looking.
I'm like, but they're not consciously aware of their body.
Right.
Just like slumping.
Right.
When I used to teach, I did corporate training for almost 15 years, and I would tell people during one of the communication courses about their body language. I'm like, you
Mm-hmm.
don't even realize that you're slumped over.
Right.
You're looking at the damn floor. That doesn't show confidence,
Right.
and if you stay that way for a long time,
It.
you get the curve in your back. Yeah,
Mhm.
you've been forced to pull your shoulders back because you got the boob, you got the
I got all of
boobalicious shit going.
this.
Wait, I got it.
There you go. There you go.
Hold on.
Okay.
I
There
gotta
it
push
is.
them together.
I love it when my guests bring cleavage.
Wait, ain't no cleavage there. I can put my whole hand in the middle. Don't
Girl,
feel
stop
shit.
it. You just made cleavage. Be quiet.
I made cleavage.
Anyway, okay. All right, hold on. I'm gonna run to a quick commercial break. We'll be back.
Okay.
Hey, okay. So Exotica is next week. It starts next Friday. I will be there in my own booth for the first time, and I'm tickled. I've got my blinged out glasses. I'm gonna have to come up with a real name for those. But we've got candy, we've got giveaways, we've got gift cards. It's gonna be bomb. Interviews, pins, you name it. I got all kinds of little things to work with. So I hope to see you in New Jersey, Edison, New Jersey, October 21st through 23rd at Exotica, booth 449. If you get lost and you can't figure out the numbers, work your way to the dungeon and then just swing around until you find the really voluptuous blonde. Yes, I will see you there.
Watch Casey Carter and her co-host, Carrie Anthony and Desiree on Exotica TV's BoobTube, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on YouTube and Twitter at Exotica TV. Join the ladies each week as they talk about what's hot and what's not on TV, streaming, and in theaters. Don't miss them, NJ, the man behind the sound effects. Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on Exotica TV. What could possibly go wrong?
Okay, I'm back, and I'm back with Mariposa.
My friend Pepe said, I think he's from Mexico. And, Mariposa means butterfly in Spanish. And he says, I think I'm going to call you Maripusi.
Yeah,
So I have a couple of callers that say Maripusi.
I like that. I like that a lot. So before we went live, you showed me a screenshot of something you have coming up. And I just want to applaud you because, again, you and a bunch of my other girlfriends who we all roll around overlapping circles in sex education and relationship and all of those things. You made your way onto Married to Medicine here in
Yes.
Atlanta.
Girl, yes, it will be airing on this coming Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Bravo channel. And I'm just like, whew, I don't know how this is going to be edited, but I hope I don't come off crazy. I just watched the preview because I was trying to watch the preview. I'm in Cancun, Mexico, and it was like, you can't watch that from here. I'm like, what do you mean I can't watch it from here? So I went to my phone and I disconnected my Wi-Fi so that I would pick up my T-Mobile network, and I was able to watch the preview. And then T-Mobile was like, you didn't use up all of your 5G. I think I'm like, oop, get back. But I start
Gotta go
charging
back.
me. I gotta go back. But I watched the preview and I'm like, why did I tell all my business? I didn't tell every damn thing.
Look,
It's like,
because when you said that earlier, I'm like, girl, that can't be a bad thing. If you come up in the feed of all the other stuff they do on that show, come on now.
well, the fact that because I was telling my daughter, said they put you on the thumbnail, about the preview. I'm like, I'm in the thumbnail. I'm like, and it's yeah, it was because I had been on Dr. Jackie's podcast a few times, and she introduced me to the producers and said, I think we should have, Taylor come do our couples retreat they do at the end of each season. So it taped, I think back in January or February this year.
Okay.
It was cold in Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta gets cold.
Yeah, and actually we were in the mountains about an hour away. We were someplace in the mountains. Colder. And it snowed. I had no boots. I'm like, it's cold out here. What is this white stuff?
Yeah.
So it was a great experience. What was supposed to be 2 days of taping turned into 1 3-hour session with 3 different segments, which I'm sure they're going to edit down to 5 minutes.
Right.
And we talked about ethical non-monogamy, communication. I had previously done disc profiles for all the couples before appearing and then walked them through that. And then we had some fun with the Liberator pillows and shapes. I got them down on the ground. Yes, girl. I got them down on the ground doing the Liberator pillows and doing sex positions. It was they had fun. They had fun. A couple of them were like,
there's always,
well, we ain't having no sex. You got a husband and 3 boys. We ain't having no sex with nobody else. And that shit, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Okay. Well, all right then.
There was a little judgment.
Okay. And there's always judgment. I've noticed that.
I know. I don't even know if I want to tell my mother now to watch it.
Well, what's interesting to me is, and I'm only even talking about it because you were on this Married to Medicine show, and these are they're famous regular people. They were regular people who are now famous, right?
Famous.
So, they didn't start out with that as a career path, but what's fascinating though is watching these people who have gone from being the doctor that lives next door to me to being the doctor on my TV screen every week. And you find out, you forget, because when you come to meet them, they're famous to you. So you forget they're really regular people. And to see them in these experiences talking about sex and relationship, and you're like, wow, they seem just as confused as me.
Yeah, there was the most interesting thing, I think, that for me, one of the most interesting things for me, I keep looking off. I'm sorry, my puppy's running around here, and was asking this group how many of them had asked their partners or their husbands, what type of sex do they like?
Mm,
And they were married between 25 days and 25 years, and nobody had ever asked,
mm.
ever. I'm like, never ever. you don't you don't want to just you're just not curious? Like, so we've been married 10 years. What kind of sex you like? I mean,
So you're saying not like in the beginning of the relationship, but like whether it was
ever.
25 days or 25 years, it's never been a topic. See, and I'm here's okay, so here's why that kind of captivates me. I had a
Mm.
conversation with a coworker, and I had to explain some things about sex and relationship that I thought were pretty plain and obvious. And I found myself repeating what I said in different ways because it just didn't seem to resonate. And I'm sitting there, and I had to apologize, and I'm like, you have to forgive me. I exist in a world where we talk about this more than you talk about what
Yeah,
was on CNN. So
right.
it's not hard to have conversation about sexual things or intimate things. And so it's fascinating to me that when I run into people who are challenged.
Yeah. And it's just some people just don't ever ask. They just don't talk about sex, sexualities. They don't talk about sexual health and wellness. A guy recently was on IG talking about how he's met so many women and men who don't use condoms, like ever. Right? I'm like, what are you talking about, Willis?
Right.
And not only they're not using condoms, they're not even asking these people they're having sex with for their most recent status,
Wow.
and or they themselves are not even being tested. And I'm like, so we're just doing Russian roulette. We're just like, just but
And
yet I say I had a husband and three boyfriends, and I could ask any of my partners at any time, babe, when's the last time you got tested? And within moments, get the most recent test sent to me without wait, it's like, here it is, you
mhm.
date, name, boom, everything. And even still, I wasn't fluid bonded with any of them, even the one I was dating the longest. Um, Fluid bonding meaning we still use condoms, use barriers. So, um, but I was tested. I even though we use condoms 110% of the time, I still tested because shit happens.
Yeah.
Condoms break, and it's just the adult responsible things to do if you really care about the people you're intimate with, in my opinion.
Well, and so that's a fascinating statement because as you're saying it, in my mind, I'm thinking it's 2022. We're not closer to having the will you wear a condom conversation, or what kind of sex do you like? Like and again, because of the circles I travel in, it's hard for me because this is how we talk to one another.
Right, right. And it's just and I think I remember Jasmine talking about this once. We receive these messages um, from our parents, sometimes unknowingly. We walk through a room with our moms and our aunts and uncles talking. We're five. We don't know what they're talking about.
Mhm.
at the time, but they're talking about sex and sexuality and what you should and shouldn't do. And that we just suck that up like a sponge
Mm-hmm.
and don't even until we come to go have our own sex and we've accepted this. Don't you be putting your mouth on nobody's dick. That's just, girl, that's just the nastiest thing. And it resonates with us. And we don't even know where we got that message, but we accept it as fact.
Yeah. See, it's funny you would use that particular analogy because I grew up with a woman who would say things like, the power of the pussy. You got to know and understand the power of the pussy. And then one of the other things that she had said to me in my youth was, ain't nothing wrong with sucking dick. And I was just like, Mom, like, because at the time that she's saying all of these things to me, I'm not having sex. I mean, she started when I was 5 talking about all these things. So
Yeah.
so I'm no, why are you saying that to me? But
Right.
to the point you just made, because I grew up with those kinds of things being said to me, directly to me, not in the room as I'm passing through, but directly to
Right.
me, it allowed me to be in this place now where I comfortably, freely, transparently talk about sex and sexuality.
Right. And I, as you know, as my children, you know, got older and older, I talked more and more freely with them about
Mhm.
sex and sexuality and you know, telling my daughter about the power of the pussy, but also letting her know your pussy's not laced with gold.
Mm.
You need to bring more to the table. You need to bring more to the table than pussy.
Yes.
You know, because, and this is, you know, I don't know who I used at the time, but I'm like, it wasn't Halle Berry or Beyonce, but you know, Halle Berry been cheated on, Beyonce. These women got money and they're stunningly fucking gorgeous, and they still getting shit because it's not about the pussy.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to bring more to the table other than just pussy. You
Facts.
know, you got to have good pussy, but you got to
But
bring more to the table besides pussy,
facts.
because just having good pussy doesn't keep anybody.
Not for long or not solo.
Not for long, or not for long, and not solo. But and then also, if you're with somebody who's a cheater, it don't matter how good your pussy is, they're going to cheat no matter what. So
Yeah. Now, see, and that's a whole nother
whole nother
conversation.
conversation.
Yeah. I mean, because when you said you got to bring something to the table, that was another, not specifically that saying, but that was another train of thought that my mom instilled in
Yeah,
me. You
yeah,
know, I mean, she emphasized the power of the pussy, but she also emphasized the reasons someone would even, to your point, stay with that
right.
pussy.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
and I say it now about my, to my children, my sister, you want X, Y, and Z, but are you those things
Right.
that you can attract those things? But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because, girl,
Okay. We'll save that for another show.
yes, 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 yes. So, real quick, talk to me about organic loving. Because, like I said earlier, you had like a bajillion, well, half a bajillion books in your library, which I
Well,
thought was fascinating because I've perused other online stores and they've got books. But you had how many books?
we have over 100 books now. Yeah, we have. Well, I because the education is important, right?
Mhm.
Everyone's not going to be with me on a cruise. Everyone's not going to be able to, to find the right sex educator at the right time. And my mother always said to me, you can find out almost anything you need to know in a book.
Mhm.
So there are people out here who have had experiences or have education that we ourselves either don't want to have or don't want to go to school to get, and they've put that in the book for us.
Right.
Whether it's so, why not go to the book to find out what you want? Sometimes you don't know a sex educator or a sex therapist, or
Mhm.
you cannot talk to your parents, or you live in the middle of Wisconsin, there is no one to talk to
Mhm.
about how you feel, or the middle of Miami, or how you
Right,
feel about
right.
sex and sexuality or kinks and relationships and communication. So whether it's monogamy, ethical non-monogamy, um, kink, sexual health and wellness, starting at for teens and for sex over up to over 60.
Mhm.
Because if we're lucky, we're getting to be over 60. So and the things that happen in our bodies, and what do we do. Unfortunately, the intimate personal care market, um, they market to our weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for those of us who are, your vagina is too dry, you're getting old, it's too tight, it's too loose, it don't smell right. Do you smell fish? It's they market to our not our weaknesses, excuse me, to our insecurities
Yeah.
as women, not so much for men, but mostly as women. So we're always concerned with something isn't it ain't tight enough. Our vagina has to be rejuvenated. Like,
What the fuck?
and no one's pussy should be smelling like, island breeze and tasting like cookies and cream. Pussy should smell and taste like pussy.
Yeah, and labiaplasty is now a moneymaker. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh. And the O shot,
mm-hmm.
to you go
Right.
get a shot in your certain to help you. But I know women who've gotten it, they still need
Mm-hmm.
lube.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you didn't spend $2,500 to get this shot in your
You know how much
hoo ha.
lube you could have bought?
You could have just, listen, take me to fucking Paris. I'll be real wet. Okay. Just, take out the trash. I'll be even more wetter. Do some, clean out
Yes.
the refrigerator. You are getting a blowjob and I'm going to be very wet. So it's like, I, they cater to our insecurities about our bodies. And there are so many natural ways that one could be more wet, be more tight. And even there are women who don't need hormone replacement therapy. There
Mhm.
are some women who have had like cancer and hysterectomies, and they're trying to preserve, at a younger age. But my mother said, when she says, I'm getting older, I'm having the change of life because I'm supposed to
Mhm.
get older
Right.
and have the change of life. But in my course, the care and feeding of your yoni, or care and feeding of your pussy, whichever one it is. I just switch out yoni to pussy. It depends on who I'm speaking with. I let women know, just because you are doing perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopausal, and your hormones are changing, it doesn't mean your vagina automatically gets dry. It's
Right.
not the law. You know, it's not the law that, oh my God, I'm going through menopause. I'm going my vagina. Your skin may get dry. Your vagina may never get dry just because you go
Mhm.
through menopause.
Mhm.
But people start thinking, oh my God, my vagina's getting dry. Like, no, maybe your partner needs to take their time. Maybe you need to go to bed early and get some damn sleep.
Get some
Maybe
rest.
somebody need to take care of them kids one weekend so you can get some rest and some dick in your life or some pussy in your life. It's not
Mhm.
because you're aging automatically.
Mhm.
Your
That's
vagina could be dry for over the counter medications. It could be
right.
dry because you are stressed and you are tired. Lots of reasons, not just you're losing estrogen.
And things like that are so super important because we do fall
Yeah.
prey to the marketing that tells us we have to look and smell and do something a certain way. And if you are not in your goddess space, if you haven't
Yeah.
gotten yourself into that space, then you do fall victim in some form or fashion.
Yeah, because there's you probably, I can hear them, but there's a pool right out. I'm over the pool in my apartment building here, and there's like, I don't know, like four girls and like four guys. They're all like 20, 18,
God.
and the girls got in the little bikinis. I'm like, oh, I remember that pre-baby body. Look at that belly, so flat. Oh well, I just got back from Venice.
Right, right. That's why I say I looked at the picture of myself 40, 43, and was like, oh well, you were cute, but girl, look at you
No,
now.
I love now. I love
Hmm.
now. Now that the kid, because your kids are grown and
Yes.
gone. Oh my
Yes.
God. you all don't understand what happens, how young you become when your kids leave the house. Like, you don't look 62. That's because my kids are gone.
We might have done a few things in front of that too, but yeah,
Well, I
no,
mean, we took care of ourselves, but
you
it
do
made our
have a
kids go to bed.
that right there.
It's 8 o'clock. Go your
Go to
ass
bed.
bed.
But it's I really am invested in this conversation about the AARP crowd and the fact that we didn't turn 50 or 60 and stop fucking. For some of us, we're like, oh God, finally them kids is out the house.
Girl. And mine was still in the house when I was fucking, and my daughter was all upset. When they become teenagers, they get all upset and every little thing gets on their nerves. And she was like, I heard you and Dad this morning. And I should not have to hear that when I'm getting ready for school.
Oh my God.
I'm like, first of all, little girl, this our house.
Yeah.
Second of all, ain't nobody scheduling their sex lot time around your schedule. Because third of all, you about to leave and go to college in another year. So you need to put your your noise canceling headphones on, and
there you go. And
go
on about your business.
Go about your business. You should be lucky that your mom. Sorry, you should be lucky that your mom and dad are still even having sex. Some of your friends' parents ain't even talking to each other. Oh. So you need to just get over it.
And, listen, I want to bring Lorenzo in. Go ahead, honey.
Lorenzo, no, I was going to say one last thing. And then a couple of days when she calmed down, I said, and just so you know, when you do get around to having sex, make a little noise. It encourages the men.
Yeah. You know what? That's a thing. I'm going to tell you right now, sometimes the noise is for me because I'm like, ooh, is that what we're doing? Is that what we doing?
Well, if it's with Lorenzo, you just call my phone and just sit it down next to you. I don't need to see that. I just want to hear it. I want to hear that. Oh baby. Oh my goddess. Oh my goddess. That's what one of my guys says to me. He don't say oh my God. He goes, oh my goddess. I'm like, speak it. Say it. Damn it. Oh my goddess.
Lorenzo, before we end the show, you got any questions for the goddess?
What is her ultimate plan from everything that she's doing now? What is the ultimate plan for you?
Ooh, the ultimate plan for me personally or for my business?
Both.
The ultimate plan for the business is to hit my first million. And the ultimate plan for me personally is to get 3 new boyfriends and to become fluent in Spanish. I'm living in Mexico. I'm working remotely from Mexico. I'm not working in Mexico. I'm working from Mexico so that I could be able to do all of my seminars completely in Spanish. Ooh. I'm going to a sex expo down here next month too. I can't wait.
Ooh, nice. One of the folks in these interconnecting circles we travel in, she just moved to Mexico. She took her daughter to Florida, to Orlando, to go to school. Then she got in the car, looped back up to Atlanta, and started swinging her way around.
Who's here?
Gigi Robinson. Well,
do I know Gigi?
I don't know.
Okay,
but
his sister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, girl.
Where in Mexico is she?
Girl, I don't remember. I'll find out.
Well, there are a lot of African Americans in Tulum and Playa. Also,
I think
Mexico
she might be
City.
In Tulum. She might be in Tulum.
There's a lot in Tulum. There's a whole Black in Tulum group. You need to come down, stay with me, and we'll go down to Tulum because I have 3 bedrooms here.
Oh, well, yeah. Well,
and 3 bathrooms.
So I've got a meeting tomorrow. After my meeting, I'll fly on over.
Well, come on down.
Girl, don't start.
It's like 2 hours from Atlanta. It's a direct flight.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk offline about that. But I have another question, which is Lorenzo mentioned how the world asks you about the lubes. What's the best lube? What do you like?
Well, when they ask me what's the best lube, I have to go back with a question and say, what kind of sex are you having?
Okay.
Because there are different lubes for different
Hmm.
types of sex. So is it anal sex? Is it oral sex? Is it only vaginal sex? Are you having heterosexual sex with women? Are you using toys? Then once I find out that, then I can kind of go down the list because we have not only all of our lubes are organic, but we have not only aloe vera based lubes, aloe vera and coconut oil based lubes are really good because those two elements are really healing for the vaginal tissue.
Right, right.
You cannot use any oil based lube with a latex condom because it will eat through that condom in
Mhm.
3 strokes. Just one, um, so I love aloe vera based lubes for all types of sex, whether it's vaginal or anal, because the aloe vera gives it a little slip and slide.
Mhm.
If you are having multi-partnered sex and or you are swinging, I recommend a lube by Intimate Earth called Defense because it has tea tree oil, carrageenan, and guava bach. Those have been clinically proven to help prevent yeast infections and HPV. Won't cure
Wow.
it, but will help. So if you're having multi-partner sex or going to swinging events, that's a really good lube to use. Intimate Earth also makes a really good um, um, anal lube because it has, oh God, nori. Shoot, it's like a seaweed, so it's
Oh,
real
yeah,
slippery, and it's
slippery.
got a really good slip and slide with that. And
Mm,
then Four is um, it's coconut oil based, but it has CBD
mm,
in it. Is a really good lube because CBD acts as a vasodilator, brings a lot of blood to the
okay.
genitals for both men and women, opening up the blood vessels. So that gives you a much more intense orgasm and a much more. And the coconut oil gives you a lot of slip and
Slip
slide.
slide. Hmm. See, now we understand why they
Hey,
ask
Duchess.
her. Because she just, and that's listen, in the world of lubes, that was a tiny list. That
Yeah, because we got water based. We got. I mean, there's
you can get dizzy off of lube choices.
Yeah,
So,
there's a lot, but the you want lubes that do not contain any chemicals at all,
hmm,
no parabens, no glycerin
hmm.
ever because it's sugar. And when you put sugar in something dark and warm and wet, what do you get?
Taste.
Yeah, you stop baking bread, right?
Yes.
So, so no glycerin, no propylene glycol, which is the cousin to antifreeze,
Mm.
not antifreeze, but the cousin to antifreeze. So, always look at your label. Always, always, always read the. If you cannot pronounce it, denounce it. If you can't read it, you don't need it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And on that note, I want to say I could still keep talking except for the fact that I've got another show that I got to jump on at
Yeah, you gotta
8:30.
go.
But I could just sit here and talk to you for days. I get very excited by conversations like this. Just the lube conversation alone is exciting to me. I have a little bit of an obsession with lube. I like to try different lubes. And
We need to send you some lube. I need to send you some lube to
yeah,
try.
I love trying different lubes. And to the point that you made about different lubes are good for different things,
Oh
that's
yeah.
part of where I became a little kind of OCD about. Like,
Hmm.
okay, I'm gonna use this for this, I'm gonna do this for that, and then, and that's probably way too much information for y'all right now. But yeah, I will work my way through a variety of lubes
Yeah.
because
No flavored loops. No flavored
I don't
loops.
like, I don't, I tried that one. No,
No, because
no,
pussy should taste like pussy,
yeah,
not cookies and cream, not bananas and chocolate chips.
yeah, no, I didn't.
When he does this, you want it later on in the day with that flavor saver right there. You want him to go, oh yeah, that's my baby right there. Not, oh, I need apple pie later. No,
Yeah,
no.
look. You know what? No, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. And because I can say some things about, as you said, the flavor saver, because I've had to suck it off myself because
Well, when you taste good, you taste
okay.
good.
Okay. Anyway.
They're sticking out somewhere. I can't tell which side is like. I'm doing like you're like. I see this lock sticking out, but
Right. But then it's
it's the
really
other
the other
side. There it
side.
is,
Yeah.
girl. Jesus, I'm gonna let you go. My dog is like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yes. So
I
I want to
gotta pee
thank
my
you
bed.
for being on the show. I'm gonna have you
Thank
back so
you
we can
so
talk
much.
about some other stuff. There's so many things to talk about. But thank you
Thank you so
so
much.
much.
Thank you, Lorenzo. I love
Yeah,
you.
anytime.
All right, y'all. Let's see where my I got my outro here. I was about to just fly out without the outro. See, I didn't want to get off right. Anyway, thanks so much for being here. No show next week because I'll be prepping for Exotica. But I do expect to see you at 9 o'clock for BoobTube on YouTube on Exotica TV. Good Lord, so many things. Right, that. All right, y'all. Good night.
Bye.